So the Has Been Hotel video did better than expected. And as a result of the YouTube gods blessing me with a spot in the algorithm, this channel has officially been given its spot in the YouTube Partner Program. Without going into every detail, that means that there are now channel memberships and super chats. So while there are presently no perks for channel members, they'll be coming in the future. Obviously, don't feel obligated to purchase these memberships, but for those who do, first of all, thank you. Secondly, I'll include channel members in any future videos if they pop up. But as far as videos go, I realize that I have yet to strike off one requirement for all anime channels. I've talked about icebergs, I've talked about fan theories, I've talked about K-On! I even did a tier list. But the one thing I haven't done yet is tell you guys what my favorite anime is. As a special video for reaching partnership requirements, I decided that I'd list my top 10 favorite anime as of the time reading this script. Some of these can obviously change, but I feel pretty confident that most of these have a comfortable seating for the time being. Just to clarify, these are not a ranking of the greatest anime of all time. They're just my personal top 10. Perhaps in the future, for other subscriber goals, we can circle back to other themes for rankings, openings, endings, specific genres, and the like. But for now, let's focus on my personal top 10, and what better way to start than by the number 10 itself. Number 10. Baka Test. Baka Test walked, so Love is War could run. Following a cast of idiots was the perfect decision for Baka Test, as every interaction with any character at any time makes Baka Test an incredible show to watch with friends. While Season 2 really spent its time developing character backstories and relationships, Season 1 was usually off the rails. Not to say that Season 2 wasn't just as funny, because it absolutely was. It brought a great deal of warmth to my icy cold heart to see the sugar water scene making its rounds as a meme in recent months. The comedy in Baka Test is so well done. I watched it dubbed back in the day, and it's really the only way I can watch it now. The delivery of so many lines are spot on.
I don't like other girls! I wear panties every day and I'm definitely not a pedophile!
It bums me out that we're never gonna get a third season to end the show, because with the second season shedding more light on other classes, and even dedicating entire episodes or segments to characters we very rarely got to see on screen, making me love them all the more, just for them to never be given that love again. And I really want to collect the manga, but I'm pretty sure they were never printed in English. It's the only way I'll ever know what happened at the end of the story. All these years later, and some small voice in my brain begs me to put off reading on the small hope that there's a third season just looming on the horizon. Also, I'm almost certain Hideyoshi is the single reason femboys in anime are so popular today. I know they existed before him, but this boy was everywhere in the early 2010s. Give my mans his flowers. Number 9. The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzuia. There seems to be a trend that I've noticed where shows that parody entire genres tend to be at the very top of that genre. Imagine criticizing something so well that you're accidentally the best it has to offer. It's kind of what happened with Haruhi Suzuia. Parodying slice-of-life high school anime where a bunch of random extraterrestrial or paranormal beings show up in front of a seemingly ordinary person? A dumb concept to be sure. But not when you're the Melancholy of Haruhi Suzuia. The main character isn't even the titular one, but Kyon. Your typical protagonist who just wants an ordinary life. And of course, he doesn't get one, as the rest of the main cast is made of aliens, time travelers, and espers. And also the girl that drags him around everywhere is God. She just doesn't know that she's God. And if she's ever unhappy, she can end the world at a moment's notice. And there's little anyone can do about it. What I like about Haruhi Suzuia so much isn't really the story. I do enjoy the story, but the anime itself, well, nothing really happens after a little while. They make a movie, they solve a murder mystery, they go on summer vacation, 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 and they make a movie, but more in depth this time. No, I like the characters. The way everyone talks is really normal. Most of the main group aren't human, but they seem like some of the most human anime characters out there. You have your tropes, of course, but it's the way Kyon interacts with all of them that really makes you realize what's special about this show. And there's nothing that's a better example of that than in the movie. I'll go on to say that this movie is why Haruhi is one of my favorite anime. And without it, the show itself probably isn't as highly rated for me. If the show already portrayed aliens as human, then the movie steps it up by actually making them human. Everything about the movie is perfect. Even the fact that it's a Christmas movie. You'd know more about that if you watched my Christmas anime video. Watched it before John YouTube told me to shove it where the sun don't shine, that is. Haruhi is also one of the main reasons this channel was even started. It's actually the first video I ever made, way back when I was in college. Don't watch the video, please, it's terrible. I made it in my school's editing bay when I hardly knew how to use any of the programs I know now. I watch Disappearance every year around Christmas time, and I don't think that'll ever change. Even though Haruhi's fame and popularity have died off in the last few years, We all know that it'll be right back at the top if another season is ever released. Number 8. Silent Voice. Silent Voice and the following entry on this list are usually paired pretty closely together, and oftentimes put hand in hand when compared. Silent Voice is ranked slightly lower, but it's certainly not a knock on its quality. Starting this movie with My Generation was such an incredible decision. It was jarring to me when I first watched it, but I don't think any other song, original or not, could have sufficed. The carefree life of a child just messing around with their friends. It's amazing. It's, dare I say, perfect. Which is exactly what I'd say for the movie as a whole. Silent Voice really makes you feel every emotion that the characters do. The regret of what they did to a girl because they were too stupid to know better. The feeling of not feeling like you belong because you aren't like the others. Silent Voice does such an incredible job at building up relationships and making triumphs, only for you to watch with your heart breaking as those stumble and break all over again. Every character, even the ones you hate, are done so with intent. There's a large cast, and if you don't know, I'm a sucker for large casts. At least when they're done right, which is exactly what Silent Voice does. All the characters play a role. You can't take a single one out of the story and have it remain the same. If you haven't seen Silent Voice yet, pause this video, watch it, and then come back. Please don't click away, it messes with the watch time. And if you haven't seen this movie or the next on the list, it might be better for you to watch them back to back. Number 7. Your Name. Do you guys remember what movie you first saw as a child that really made your eyes pop? One that you might not remember every detail of when you first saw it, but you know that you were just gazing at the screen in awe. I might be showing my age, but for me, that was Pokemon, the first movie. I don't remember anything about my life at that time, but I know I was entranced by Ash and the gang. Your Name was the first film since then to give me the same feeling, and my goodness, what a movie. I think one of the main reasons I ranked Your Name above Silent Voice is because of my experience I had with both. I watched Silent Voice with a friend in my college apartment. Your Name was the first anime movie I got to experience in theaters. Having grown up in the middle of nowhere, very few theaters around me ever had any Western theatrical releases. My college hosted one for Your Name, and I wouldn't have had it any other way. Experiencing the highs and lows of Your Name with an entire room is a feeling I'll never forget. Watching the ending with everyone, how can I even describe it? I know that a lot of people have an issue with the way the story is told. Some have an issue with the plot holes. To that, I say phooey. Taki and Mitsuha have an incredible chemistry for people who are further apart than anybody ever could be. I haven't seen Weathering with You yet, and I've been told by many that it's the better Shinkai film. That might be so, and I won't truly know until I watch it, but I highly doubt anything will unseat Your Name in my eyes. The art is absolutely stunning. Every visual in the film could serve as a wallpaper. Taki and Mitsuha have a relationship that makes me feel things to this day that other romance movies could never hope to. Your Name might not be perfect, and there are certainly plenty of flaws, but that doesn't stop it from being my favorite animated movie of all time. It hasn't since I first watched it all those years ago, and I doubt it'll change anytime soon. Number 6. Konosuba. What a drastic change of pace. From a heart-wrenching work of art to pure comedy gold, what I like about Konosuba is the same thing I like about Haruhi Suzuia. Two vastly different titles, but both sitting atop the genres they're meant to be parodying. The isekai genre has become bloated with seasonal releases that just make trying to weed through the bad to find the good a useless effort. The only ones I've cared for are Re:Zero and Konosuba, with me not even watching more than the first arc of the former. Kazuma, Aqua, Megumin, and Darkness. I'm not being ironic when I say that they're icons of the anime scene nowadays. The show gets dismissed sometimes because of the raunchy humor, but those who abandon ship are seriously missing out. Even looking beyond the core four, the world around them is just as hilarious as they are. If raunchy jokes aren't your thing, the entire Axis cult story arc is just as chaotic as the rest of them. The show never really slows down, and actually can be pretty emotional at times too, making you realize that this might be the biggest group of idiots you've ever seen, but that group of idiots is a family. A family that, despite how much they try to get in their own way, you can't help but love. Each entry to the show just seems to make it better. That's not even touching on the movie, which in itself was just as hilarious as the rest of the series. Konosuba is a perfect anime for those who are kind of aware of just how strange anime can be, but are comfortable with pushing that much deeper. I can't believe I almost didn't give it a shot when it first came out just because I thought Aqua was annoying. I still think Aqua is annoying, but I can appreciate how annoying she is. Number 5. Coco Connect. If I had a nickel for every time I had a body-swapping anime in my top 10, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't much, but it's weird it happened twice. Coco Connect feels like a show that was popular at the time of airing, but now has really died out aside from a few out-of-context screenshots.
What's the title of the last adult film that you borrowed from Aoki? Big Jugged High School!
Which is a real shame, because I really loved Coco Connect, evident by its positioning in my personal top 5. As with most of these shows, the driving force behind my love for the show is the cast. The main 5 are written so perfectly. They're so understandingly human, and it's what makes it stick out with a generally common trope. The main plot of Coco Connect is a group of 5 friends in the same school club begin swapping bodies without warning. But instead of just focusing on the goofy shenanigans that can come with that, the question of trust and paranoia comes into play in a much more prominent way. Every single one of the 5 leads are crucial to the plot. Even though I didn't like Iori, why I don't like her is what I enjoy about her. She begins to question what even makes her herself, and she gets on people about it, wondering that if they would still like her even if she acted way different than she does now. As with the rest of these shows, I can make an entire video on the cast of Coco Connect, so I'll save what I really want to say about it for when I make those. If you haven't caught on to the romance themes by now, you better get ready for the rest of the top 5. Number 4, Todora. By far the anime I've talked about the most on this channel, Todora was the king of rom-coms in my personal opinion, and the argument could be made that it still is to this day. I don't need to go into detail about what I like about it, as if you want to hear why I love Todora, you can watch some of my older videos. Granted, they probably have horrible audio and editing, but hey, that's par for the course, you know? In short, Todora is one of the best love stories in anime. Perhaps even ever in fiction. The Christmas arc to the end is one of the hottest streaks of episodes a romance anime has ever had. It takes on every trope slice of life shows have and somehow does the best each time. Beach episodes, pool episodes, Christmas episodes, etc. And while Taiga wasn't the first tsundere in anime, she was certainly one of the most iconic, behind probably only Tosaka Rin from Fate. I think of all the love triangle, square, dodecahedron anime I've watched, this one is always one I think about when it comes to what-if scenarios. And I really wish we got a few OVAs showing different romance routes. Just knowing that this anime is quickly approaching 20 years old makes my bones wither away. Especially because it was an anime I remember my friends bothering me to watch while in my early high school years. Let's start on the top 3 before my bones crumble and snap. Number 3, Love is War. It's fitting that these two anime were right next to each other on the list. For the longest time, I considered Todora to be the greatest rom-com in anime. The only show that was able to change my mind was Love is War. Then when I go back and watch through, I'm always a bit surprised at how slow a start the show really has. By no means is it low energy, but the best part of Love is War is the character and relationship development, which switches into high gear later on in Season 1 and onward. Season 3 is simultaneously one of the funniest and most heart-throbbing anime sequences out there. There are days when I'll watch the clock tower scene and just cry myself to sleep. Fuck my no balloon having chud life. Fucking stupid line. It's incredible that Love is War started with a small cast, just focusing on the 4 of the student council, and by the end of the movie, we're invested in characters like Tsubame, Kashiwagi, and Tsukasa. Characters that we thought were gags or just background characters when we first met them. I haven't even read the manga yet, but I know I'm never getting to see more of Momo, and that kind of pisses me off. I have a lot of stuff planned for Love is War, so stay tuned. Number 2, Angel Beats. Angel Beats was my favorite anime for a long time, a few years at the very least. It was also one of the first since I started watching. The first anime I watched was Soul Eater, Angel Beats was the 7th, and until I watched number 1, it sat proudly in that number 1 spot. Angel Beats has a beautiful art style, and a wonderful cast of characters. They're explored just enough to make you curious, but to this day, a majority of the battlefront has unknown backstories. In just 13 episodes, Angel Beats not only manages to make you love these characters and this world, but expertly rips your still beating heart out of your chest in the process. I always found Angel Beats to be the perfect entry anime for introducing people into the medium. Between action, romance, music, and overarching story, as well as its short runtime, it makes for a perfect first step if you want to show somebody an anime, but you're not sure of where to start. Angel Beats isn't perfect. There are some plot holes that fan theories needed to patch up, and a lot of the story races right past you, considering the lack of episodes. Basically, every project is smited by the will of God for daring to show its face. But even 15 years and probably 25 to 30 rewatches later, I love the show as much as I did back then, though there is one that I love just that much more. But before we get into my number 1, I'll speedrun a few honorable mentions that just barely managed to miss the list. Too Many Losing Heroines. Having just come out, Too Many Losing Heroines is already on track for being one of my favorite rom-coms. It's goofy but heartwarming. It's a great look at the opposite side of a happy ending. where the couple who is in love gets together, but instead of following their fairy tale, we see through the eyes of the losers. Season 2 is already on the way, and it honestly could bump it up into the top 10 if it's even better than Season 1. Komari Nation, rise up. I called Dragon Maid a guilty pleasure in my iceberg video of the show, but I'm reconsidering that. It's a cozy story, and I really do love seeing the characters on screen whenever they come around. I just can't be upset when I'm watching it. It's goofy, it's cozy, and I really love all the different ways that characters interact, even to the point where I'm excited when two characters who don't interact much actually share a scene together, such as the two level heads of Shota and Kobayashi. Funny that in a show full of dragons, the one human character is actually the most interesting. Shimonetta. If you want to talk about a show with a message that's only gotten better with age, Shimonetta is just that. Oh, its over-the-top comedy and plot points that actually needed a heart attack warning before they occur could push people away. It's a surprisingly accurate critique of censorship. And with how people act on social media in the current age when it comes to fictional characters and adult content,
you don't have free healthcare, do you?
Shimonetta becomes more prominent with every single passing day. Now, for the moment you've been waiting for, number 1, SteinsGate. It's been about 10 years since I first watched SteinsGate. Oddly enough, I didn't even think I'd watch it in the first place. I saw the first episode, but it didn't grasp me, so I set it on the back burner for the longest time. Eventually, when I came back around, I couldn't believe that I wasn't sold. I remember watching the first few episodes over the course of about a week, then racing through the remaining 75% in a single day, only taking a break whenever something would happen that made me wonder how the hell these things would work out. SteinsGate was one of the biggest roller coasters I'd ever experienced, and the OVA, movie, and SteinsGate Zero all proved to bolster the ranking that this show has for me. Everything about the story of SteinsGate is perfectly well-rounded. Everything comes full circle, and the first episode that I didn't get hooked on was one of the best parts of the story. SteinsGate and everything that accompanies it feels like a truly perfect story. Perfect characters, perfect arcs, perfect twists, and perfect tragedies. I don't know if SteinsGate will remain my number 1 forever, though I surely don't watch as many anime as I did back in the day. It's really a win-win situation though. Either I continue to experience and observe SteinsGate as this amazing anime that I think it is, or I somehow find something that gives me an even greater experience. Either way, I'd say it's earned its spot on the top of this list. And there it is. 1 subscriber and channel goal down, and who knows how many to go in the future. It may be a bit before there's another video on the channel, as all the ideas I have for the moment are going to take a lot of time. Think the Has Been Hotel video, but for some of the shows I mentioned above. Thank you all so much for helping the channel finally reach partner status. I remember starting this page over half a decade ago, and I was putting out videos to 15 subscribers, so knowing that there are now thousands of views on my videos is just otherworldly to me. If you do want to support the page, please like, subscribe, and consider becoming a channel member. I'm still thinking over what kind of emotes and tiers we can use as incentives, so if you'd rather wait for that before becoming a partner, I totally understand. I really do appreciate everything you guys have done for me. Thank you all again, and I will see you next time.